Hello and welcome to another energy market update. My name is Ian and I'm an energy analyst here at Northern Gas and Power. It's been a busy week for politics across the world, but especially here in the UK and France. The UK now has a new Labour government, winning 412 out of 650 seats for an outright majority. In the French election, things weren't so clear-cut. Of the three major parties, there was no one party that gained an outright majority. Now, in the UK, Labour wants to facilitate greener energy policies and has already removed the footnotes from the National Planning Policy Framework that made it almost impossible to develop land-based wind farms. Within the French election system, there was no clear outright majority. The New Popular Front, or NFP, won 188 of the 577 seats. But in reality, any two of the three major parties could create a working coalition. If that's the case, we still need to see proposals for this and how this could impact policies. The reason that's so important for us here in the UK is that France is a major power supplier to us. And any change in policy regarding cross-border delivery of electricity from the French nuclear fleet could impact prices not just within the UK, but within Europe as well. Further afield, in US news, the Biden administration's controversial LNG export ban that paused new LNG development projects has been overturned by a Louisiana federal judge. This means that the United States are sending a clear signal that they want to supply. In the spot gas price market, Monday to Monday saw a drop in gas spot price of 5.2% for the UK. Europe, Asia and Henry Hub in the States also showed a similar fall in prices. Local gas demand stayed around 59 million cubic meters per day, as temperatures for the UK averaged between 12.5 and 15.5 degrees C. Now that is slightly below to close to seasonal normal for this time of year. Gas for power was highest on Tuesday at 25 million cubic meters per day, and that was when renewable production from wind and solar was at its lowest. Current UK gas storage sits at 46% full, which is consistent with this time last year, and it puts us into an acceptable position at this point of the injection season. In contrast, Europe as a whole is sitting at 79% full, but ultimately Europe has 100 times our storage capacity, so Europe hitting its targets will have a much greater influence on seasonal prices. Storm Beryl is the earliest Atlantic Category 5 hurricane on record and has caused some major concerns over supply disruption. Over the week, oil ports from Houston to Corpus Christi were disrupted, and LNG Freeport was temporarily closed. TTF prices peaked at that time, then subsided as disruption caused by Hurricane Beryl was not as severe as expected. To put this into perspective, hurricane season runs up until November this year, so the dependence on US gas exports to Europe and the UK could see a lot more volatility come to the market, especially since there are another 7 major hurricanes forecast for this season. Front month, August 24, closing prices have fallen from 81.35 to 75 pence per therm. That's a drop of almost 8%. Overall, prices have weakened and followed this pattern right across the curve. And that's based on good supply fundamentals with no major maintenance issues or outages affecting Norwegian gas flows from the continental shelf. There were reports this last week of Russia striking a Ukrainian gas facility, and this highlights the ongoing geopolitical tensions that we're seeing that could potentially disrupt quite a fragile energy market. August 24 contracts stripped a moderate 4.4% off their price to hit £67 per megawatt hour. And this reaches a low that we last saw in mid-May. And this is on top of a 2% increase in the EU allowance carbon emission certificate. This increases the cost to generate energy from fossil fuels. Because of this and our infrastructure, UK gas-fired power stations are still the most dominant price-setting influence for power, Across the curve, we see a similar pattern to gas with prices trending downwards. Overall, fundamentals look good for a continued downtrend of power and gas prices this coming week. The temperatures, although not fantastic, are set to hover below to around seasonal normal. Wind generation may stay slightly above seasonal normal, and if so, this will assist in power generation for the next few days. There is one LNG vessel forecast to arrive this week, and that contains 102 million cubic meters of gas and is destined for Milford Haven. And there you have it. Please remember to like us on LinkedIn and follow us for more regular market updates.